You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney theme parks podcast, and this is show number 248 for Sunday the 17th of February 2019.
Where dreams begin.
Hello and welcome to the Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my good friend Jen Phipps, we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. Well, this week's show is a bit of a different one, as I don't have the wonderful Janie with me. Instead, I have my Dopey to my Snow White, my Carl to my Ellie, my Pongo to my Perdita, the wonderful Mr. Thomas Tate. Hello there, sir.
Good morning.
Morning to you. We're going to talk some Disney together.
We sure are.
And this is a first.
Definitely. And the last.
Oh, I'm sure it won't be.
It will.
No, it won't. As you can tell, he was given the name Dopey for a particular reason, not a reference to his intellect, because he's one of the most intelligent people I know.
On the planet.
On the planet?
Mm-hmm.
All right, okay, we'll go with that one then, love, if you want your ego massaging. But because Tom really doesn't say a great deal.
No, I don't really. I'm quite a quiet person.
You are a quiet person, so doing a podcast with him is going to be a bit of a challenge.
Alien, at least.
Yeah, and I've probably given him my wonderful, horrible, nasty lurgy because I've broken up for a week's holiday, and in true teaching form, I'm starting to come down with the lurgy. Yay.
Yay.
And what I have, I share.
You share, except food.
I don't share food.
You don't share food.
Shelley no share food.
No.
Unless she's full and then you can have it.
What's left?
Yeah. After I've devoured all the best bits.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's how we roll as a couple.
Yes.
And we like Disney's because you basically introduced me to the world of Disney.
Many, many years ago I did, yes.
Many, many years ago we had our wonderful first trip to Walt Disney World, and we will be talking about that later on. But on the show this week, we're going to talk a little bit about the thought process we have at the moment on planning our next trip to Disney. And we're just trying to box out some ideas about it. And a fair few listeners at the moment have been contacting the show saying, what do we do with regards to going to Disneyland? We want some advice from you guys. And Michelle, you've been there more recently than Jane. Can you help us out? So I thought, well, Tom would be an ideal person because he'd never been to Disneyland until we went the other year. So I thought that'd be useful. So that's coming up. We also have a, how can I put this? A frank and honest review from our wonderful Ciaran about Mary Poppins Returns. Now, I know Twitterverse loved it. Unfortunately, my son shares my viewpoint about it, and I thought it'd be nice to give some balance. And if anyone would like to give the positive side of the review, please feel free. But also this morning, we're recording on the Saturday, we woke up to some very sad news that the Walt Disney Archives founder, Dave Smith, had passed away in his Burbank home on February 15th. He dedicated his 4-decade career at the Walt Disney Company to preserving Disney's precious treasures from film, television, theme parks and beyond. He was named a Disney legend in 2007 and he was loved by fans all over the world. I know our lovely friends at the Allisons had a special connection with Dave Smith, and he was very kind to them as a family, gave their son Chris lots of opportunities and things like that. And that seemed to be echoed across Disney this morning when I was looking on social media, that everybody has got such wonderful memories of this very giving man, about how he's sort of shared his passion and love for Disney and how he's preserved and worked so tirelessly to make sure that the legacy of Walt Disney and the company he created, amongst others, is being kept within the archives. Just want to pass on our condolences about him. Right, so let's go to the next thing, which is Ciaran's review of Mary Poppins Returns.
Hey guys, lots of fudge here, and today I want to briefly talk about the new sequel to the 1964 classic Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins Returns. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hey, Mr. Fudge Dude, I thought that film was okay when I didn't go and see it and just check the Rotten Tomatoes score to base my entire opinion on it. Well, sit down little Jimmy, put on your seatbelt and prepare yourself as I take you through a magical adventure on why I thought this film was pretty darn meh. I'm a Cockney. Now, if you haven't been living under a rock recently, you might have noticed that Disney have been remaking a lot of its most successful films. Now, this first started in 2010 with Tim Burton's nightmare-inducing Alice in Wonderland.
He's stubborn.
My name is Jeff.
And like an earthquake causing a tsunami, this film was then followed by such releases as 2015's Cinderella, 2016's Jungle Book, 2017's Beauty and the Beast, and of course, 2018's Mary Poppins Returns. Now, the obvious reason why Disney is doing this is, of course, money. Why risk being original and interesting when you can just suck the nourishing teat of an already established and successful franchise? Now, you might be thinking to yourself, wait, Mary Poppins Returns is a sequel, not a remake, so therefore it must be at least somewhat new and original. However, I counter this argument by saying it might as well be a remake. Like, structurally it's exactly the same from the first film. My case in point being, the film opens with a working class Cockney man who addresses the audience and sets up the film. The Banks family are dysfunctional / in array and are in need of the help of Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins arrives and takes the Banks children on a number of imaginative adventures, with the working class Cockney man joining them on some of these. At one point, Mary Poppins and co go inside a piece of art which integrates 2D animation with live action. On another outing, they go and meet a zany older character and an outlandish event occurs. The children go to the bank and something occurs at the bank which upsets them, which then leads to an elaborate song and dance number revolved around the profession of the working class Cockney man. The father goes through some kind of realization which helps improve his relationship with his children. There is then an ending sequence involving an item on a piece of string which flies in the sky and the Banks family interacting with this item. Mary Poppins then leaves when the Banks family is no longer dysfunctional / in array. And yeah, there are some differences. For example, it's the children of the children from the first film. There's this whole plot point about losing the Banks house, and the third act is a little bit more cinematic, but that doesn't stop it from being basically the same film. You can't just change the characters and a few plot points and call it an entirely different film. The whole point of a sequel is to add upon its predecessor, add new concepts and ideas, not just make the same film again. It's the reason why films like Aliens, Empire Strikes Back, Blade Runner 2049 are good films and sequels. Like, imagine if Aliens was just another claustrophobic sci-fi horror on some boring spaceship, or if Empire Strikes Back just did a Force Awakens. There'd literally be no point in seeing it. Now, you might have the argument that Mary Poppins Returns is a good chance to get younger children into these characters and worlds, but what's exactly wrong with the original one? It's not like Disney or the BBC have wiped out remaining traces of the film. You can literally get it on Amazon for £5. And anyway, the original film is way more superior to this new one. Like, for example, the songwriting is nowhere near as memorable and as genius as the original one done by the Sherman brothers. And also, the film just lacks that sense of magic and wonderment that the original one had. So yeah, it's meh. Very meh. There's literally no point in watching this film as it lacks completely any sense of originality and only offers the exact same experience as the first film. So yeah, I can really only give this film a measly 4 oh governors out of 10. Now, I guess you're wondering what's next for Disney's money lust rampage. Well, I hope you're looking forward to dull live-action adaptations of Dumbo, Aladdin, The Lion King, Lady and the Tramp, Mulan, Pinocchio, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Lilo and Stitch, and The Little Mermaid, cause that's what the big greedy mouse has got in store for you. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you really did, how about subscribing? I make pretty swell content indeed, my friends. Well, goodbye!
So, Mary Poppins Returns, not one of Ciaran's favourite films by the sound of it. I thought it was okay. I wasn't raving about it. I do agree with some of Ciaran's points there. If anyone would love to come on the show and give their review of a more positive spin, please feel free. You know how to get in touch with us. info@disneydreamgirls.com, or you can reach out to us on our Facebook page, and we also have the Disney Dream Girls podcast family page, which you can request to be a member of, and that's us guys sharing our love of Disney, and it's becoming such a warm, lovely community where people are sharing their love of Disney. And this last week I have been offering some goodies as prizes for people who want to post a new updated iTunes review, because you do know those iTunes reviews and help other listeners find our show where we talk Disney. But we're here to talk Disney, so let's start talking Disney. I've been off to Disneyland so many times on my own, and Tom was doing the old sad sulky face. correct?
Correct.
And he said, come on, you've got to share with me. Let's do a trip to Disneyland together. But the problem that we possess is I'm a teacher and we're stuck to basically trying to squeeze in a holiday when I have 2 weeks off or the 6 weeks. Because really when I have my little 1 week holidays, it's just too much to go on that 11.5 hour flight. 2 flights normally for us as well. It just knocks it out of us. And I have done week-long trips before, but it's not the best way for your first experience. So we looked at our calendar and we'd already spent the summer in Disney World. So we said, well, let's try and go at Christmas. And then Tom was sort of saying, well, why should I go at Christmas? Well, now can you answer that question now you've actually been at Christmas?
Well, why shouldn't you go at Christmas? I mean, Christmas in the UK is really like same old, isn't it? Same thing every year. You're queuing for presents and you've got to put all the decorations up and take down the decorations at the end of it all the cooking. It's just there.
Yeah, you've got a different perspective though, because you don't have family like I have family, because unfortunately your parents have both passed away, so you don't have that family coming together, Christmas and games and things like that, because you don't have your parents around.
Well, no, but in the past I did. And I did go to Disney World quite a lot in the past.
Was that to avoid your mum's turkey?
That was to avoid my mum's turkey, yeah. So, but it just got so boring. And as a person, I like Christmas.
You do like Christmas. He is a very giddy camper at Christmas.
So it was suggested to me once that why don't we go to Disney World at Christmas? And I thought, no, I don't want to go. Don't want to go all the way over there. But then I thought about it and I read up on it and I thought, yeah, this sounds exciting. Let's go. So I did. And I've always enjoyed it. It was one of the best Christmases and New Year's I've ever had.
So when we're talking about Disneyland per se and the trip that we had, what is the first thing that hits you when you arrive at the park?
The largest Christmas trees you've ever seen in your life.
They are beautiful.
They are beautiful, yes.
The decorations, because the tree's so big, the decorations obviously have got to be so big and bright and in your face. And there's so many of them.
There's loads of them, yes. Streets, everything's like just Christmased out.
It's like Christmas has been vomited up all over
everywhere,
Main Street.
Yes.
So the decoration, and leading into the decoration is all the wonderful extra things that you can get. Like, I know I love this, but the castle lighting.
Yeah, that's really good. Well, you get ginger scented snow. You get all the dramatics that goes with it. The tension of everybody waiting to see what happens.
Oh, then the snow flurries down.
Then the snow flies down and everybody's like,
It is such a romantic time as well. And you go in the shops, and the shops smell of gingerbread, and we can go in the Jolly Holiday Bakery and we can get that beautiful Mickey-shaped gingerbread, which sort of melts in your mouth, and you just have to put it all in at once.
Yeah. The little treats that you can get at Christmas, they're really nice. And like you say, all the shops smell of Christmassy. And the mint ice cream with the cones dipped in the multicoloured sugar.
Oh.
Which is to say I don't like mint.
I know. I forced him.
Nice.
I forced him. I said, look, I know you don't like peppermint, but you've got to try one of these. And you can get it either with the little hundreds and thousands, which are green and red, or you can get it with the crushed up candy cane.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
So the food is amazing.
It's a lot better than the normal periods of time, yeah. I think so.
What about anything else in the park that makes it special at Christmas?
The way that the ride makeovers, the way they make over some of the rides.
Which is your favourite? The two big classics that they do, It's a Small World and Haunted Mansion Holiday.
I have to say, it's a small world.
Yeah, you're with me on that. We love that attraction, don't we?
Half the planet would be that's ever been at Christmas. They'd all say the same.
It's just unreal. Like, the Disneyland version, anyway, is different because it has the characters from Disney films in there. They're not put in awkwardly either. They just blend and flow with everything so well. But then they put in 10 billion lights and it's just, wow.
Yeah, I have to say that compared to Disney World, Disneyland at Christmas and It's a Small World blew my mind with all the lighting, the extra lighting and the extra theming that they do on that ride. That's really good.
And the Christmas parade, oh my word.
Yeah.
You're not a parade guy,
I don't do
though.
parades, no. I find them a bit boring. Standing and wait for each float to go past. Well, some of them are pretty good, but generally I'd rather do a ride.
Yeah. Well, we'll come and talk about the rides in a little moment. We decided it was going to be Christmas and we picked some dates, and then the next bit, we always have this same problem, where to stay. Because I would quite happily sleep on a park bench if it means I could get in an extra trip to Disney. However, you've got a different philosophy.
Yeah, splash out. You have to splash out, especially at Christmas. You got to make it worth every bit that you need for enjoyment. It's just, if you go cheap, you might, for me, I'd regret it.
Yeah, but I can't see the point in paying for the Disney hotels when you're not going to be in the hotel.
But you are, though.
But you're not. You're only going to sleep there because you're going to be spending all your time in the park.
Exactly. When you've been in the park all day, all night,
I go to sleep.
You want to come back and you want to relax.
I sleep.
Have a nice shower.
I sleep.
Get in a nice bed.
But anywhere has that.
Luxury.
You see, this is where we differ. And this is where I have to appeal to Tom's pocket. Okay? And I dangle a little carrot saying, well, if we stay off-site at Disneyland, we could possibly save thousands. And that technically could be another trip. And that does appeal to you, doesn't it?
Yes.
So I have to do all the financials. Let's just work through this. I've got some fantasy pricing for a 7-night trip to Disneyland this coming Christmas.
Right.
Okay? Disney has the 3 hotels to choose from. They have Paradise Pier, which incidentally we've never been in together.
No.
I've showed you where it is, but it's a bit of a walk to the park, isn't it?
It is actually, yeah.
And whilst it is beautifully decorated, if I was going to stay in a Disney hotel, I'd stay in one that's nearer to get that absolute benefit.
Yeah.
So you're looking at Paradise Pier costing about $449 a night.
Okay.
Doesn't sound so bad when you only say it for one night, does it?
No, but I'd spend more.
You probably would as well, knowing you. So, okay, let's move on. And then we've got 2 other Disney hotel options. We have the Disneyland Hotel, and then we have the Grand Californian. Disneyland Hotel, iconic towers, beautiful theming. It's got the history. When we went to eat at Steakhouse 55 and we walked around and we went to see the big gingerbread castle that they have there, even though it's not a real castle, but they have all of it decorated up and they had the little mock 50s area Christmas tree. We loved that, didn't we?
Yeah, I like the 1950s feel that they had and the little expo that they had in the foyer at the end. That was interesting to look at.
With all the merchandise.
Yeah.
That was really, really good to see how it's classically changed as well.
It hasn't changed that much, I don't think. But then I've never really followed it or even stayed there, so,
So, while we're talking about the Disneyland Hotel, there is something that your little schmoozy, your little love bunny, she actually wants to stay at the Disneyland Hotel just for one reason.
The monorail slide?
Yay! He knows me well. Having drinks delivered from Trader Sam's, going on the monorail slide, maybe splurging and having a cabana.
Trader Sam's. Yes.
Yeah. You can have your favourite burger from Tangaroa Terrace.
Yes.
That burger with the pineapple and the cheese and the barbecue sauce.
Yes, that's very, very nice. Yeah.
Now, the next option up is the Grand Californian, and I know you love the Wilderness Lodge over in Walt Disney World, so you surely must love the theming of the Grand Californian.
Yeah, the Grand Californian ticked a lot of boxes, and it would be number 1 place to stay for me.
They have the gingerbread castle.
The castle, the big tree, the huge tree.
The tree's giganormous.
Yeah. And it's for me, it's really like for the size of the hotel, it was very welcoming. Yes, very homely.
You loved it, just sat in one of the little sofas
chairs,
and having a hot chocolate, listening
Yeah.
to the carolers.
Yeah.
Well, I went off in the shops at the Grand Californian, are pretty good.
Yeah, they're very good. Yeah.
Small but good.
Yeah.
Great way to spend all the dollars.
Yeah. You can lose a lot of money quite easily.
That's Disney. Well, we sort of thought about that and we did decide we'd love to stay at the Grand Californian.
Yes.
Now then we looked at the price.
You looked at the price.
Well, I looked at the price.
I never look at the price.
You never look at the price. $6,950 for a 7-night stay with a 5-day park hopper ticket. And I said, never going to happen.
Never say never.
One night maybe. I am not paying $7,000 to stay there. It's virtually, with the park ticket, $1,000 a night when you look at it with the tax and everything. That's just not going to happen. It's just too much. For that price, I can stay at another hotel off-site for at least 3 times that time. So it's another trip. So then I thought, well, what about the Disneyland hotel? But that was only just over $5,000. And that still is a little bit too excessive. So we sort of kind of thought, well, the location, Grand Californian, the ability to go in and out of DCA through the hotel or into downtown Disney is a massive plus.
Absolutely, yeah.
But then we start thinking, well, if we're prepared to walk maybe 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes to get to the park, then the price starts coming down. And I've stayed in quite a lot of the nearby Good Neighbour hotels. And one we've stayed at together was the Red Lion, and that's $1,700. That is a cheap price. Okay, we've got park tickets on top of that, but it still tops out at just over $2,000, which saves us $3,000 from staying at the Disneyland hotel.
Yes, there's benefits to that. Yes, I agree.
And the Red Lion was a great location.
Location-wise, yes, it wasn't a long walk to the park.
It was clean.
It was clean.
It had a nice shower.
Pass.
All right.
I've had better showers in America.
Okay.
I've had worse as well, I must admit. I've stayed in worse places.
And it had a coffee machine.
Well, thankfully, yes.
One of Tom's non-negotiables has to have a coffee machine. Another non-negotiable is it has to have an interior corridor. You don't like motels.
Hate the motels.
Absolutely hate them. Because we did look originally at thinking about staying at the Tropicana, which is literally over the way. And I've stayed there. But when I kind of explained it was a motel and the swimming pool was in the middle of the car park, you started going grey, didn't you?
Yeah, it's not, like I say, I've had bad experiences with them, and they're not very private, even though you think they are, they're not. So, yeah, not for me.
I've also stayed at the Clarion, which is down by the convention centre and the Toy Story car park, and you weren't too impressed with the tales I had of the ant invasion and the 1970s decor.
The 1970s decor would, if it was purposely done, would be great. Be quite a laugh to stay in a place like that. But if it's been neglected and, yeah, you've got the local wildlife coming into your room, absolutely not.
So then we looked over the road at the Hilton, and I must admit, looking at the details of the Hilton, you know, I'm able to persuade you here that you've got all the facilities, the room comfort, the coffee maker. It's got a fabulous location. It's got a spa if we want to have like a non-Disney pampering day. The rooms are beautifully appointed, fresh, crisp linen and comfort and coffee machines, great showers. Can we stay at the Hilton?
For me, yes, definitely. I do remember looking at the Hilton when we were over there last time, and I did suggest it to you, and you said, oh no, too expensive.
But actually, this time of year, if we're planning a little bit more in advance, it's only about $300 more than the Red Lion. And if that's going to get you on board, I'd rather pay the $300 rather than the $3,000.
Yes, okay.
So we sorted.
Compromise.
Oh, we've compromised.
Yes.
Oh, honey bunny.
But if you win the lottery, we're changing, sorry.
Okay, well, I'll make sure I book a hotel deal that is cancerable.
Would it matter if you won the lottery?
All right, I'd give it to friends.
Give it to friends.
I'd give it as a podcast giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah, share the love.
Share the love.
Okay, so we've decided we're going to stay at the Hilton in Anaheim. We've got a day sorted. We know we're going to get a 5-day park hopper. That's the most we can do. 5 days, we're going to be there for 7. I think that's a nice amount of time because we're going to want a day or so just to unwind, do some shopping, maybe go some of the places in California that you've not had an opportunity to go to.
Yes, there's plenty of places I'd like to go to in California, although we did quite well last year.
We did. We've been to quite a few places thanks to our lovely friend Thomas Allison. He's been very generous and done Tommy's tours and taken us to Hollywood, which you loved.
It was an experience.
To be repeated?
I'm going to say yes.
Wow, I'm surprised.
Even though, well, to be honest, it wasn't what I was expecting.
I don't think Hollywood Boulevard is what anyone's ever expects.
What you see on the TV and what you see in reality are so, like, universes apart.
Absolutely. I'd love to go this year to the studios over in Burbank. If anyone could get me in, wow. I'd love to go and have a look around that iconic building, see what's inside and all the Disney history, go to visit Walt's office.
Yes, I'm not a Walt walker, so I probably wouldn't enjoy that as much as you.
But I'll take you for ice cream afterwards.
Okay.
take you to Walt's favourite restaurant, the Tam O'Shanter, where they have a great prime rib.
Sounds nice.
I know how to persuade him. So we've got that sorted. Interestingly enough, though, when I was looking on the Disneyland website for the tickets, the current price of a 5-day park hopper is $289. It says the tickets must be purchased before the 18th of May and used by that date. And I'm curious if there's going to be another ticket increase because Star Wars Land is coming and obviously the tickets are going to have to go up.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is where Disney rubs me up the wrong way when it comes to price hiking on tickets. And with Disneyland, you're only able to get a 5-day park ticket upsets me because I can quite easily spend a lot more time in the park than 5 days. Even not necessarily on the rides, but looking at all the artistry and the way that the park's themed and things like that.
Yeah, true. And for us, what we've done before is maybe get a 3-day and a 4-day or a 5 and a 2. In the past, when I was going to Disneyland twice a year, it actually worked out better for me to get an annual pass. But now the annual pass tickets have got so stupid, and also you've got to have a high-level tiered pass for Christmas, it just wouldn't work out. But it's a shame because I love that extra bit of discount you got on the dining and the merch. So we've decided on all of that. We've got our tickets. There are a lot of attractions over in Disneyland that are absolutely unique to that park or have a different twist on them. One of the ones that we totally disagree with completely, I absolutely love because it is old school, but it's had a little bit of a tweak. It's fun, it's a classic, it's a quirky Disney film, it's Alice in Wonderland. But you've got a different view.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy this as much as you did. It's designed quite well. You know, it's got some, like I say, it's old world design. Technically not very intricate, and it's on different levels, which I didn't, I didn't like it.
You didn't like the little bit where we pop out of the balcony?
No.
Why? I thought that was the best bit.
You seem to be on show to the whole world. And people was up there staring at you. And it's
saying,
like,
wow, that ride looks awesome.
Yeah, and it's worse when it stops. And if you stop on the balcony, like again, everybody just stares at you.
Remember last week I was saying that Yeehaw Bob's show is not a thing for me because Yeehaw Bob's show is where you become the show. You think I'm bad? He's even worse. Yeah. Tell you. But we are a good match in that thing. We have similar things that we like in common.
Yeah.
Few of the other attractions that I know you absolutely adore, you love the monorail.
Yeah, I always like the monorail.
And this is a lot better than Walt Disney World's.
It depends on your point of view.
Ooh.
Because the carriages on the monorail are different to the ones at Disney World.
They are indeed.
Even though the one at Disneyland looks a bit more space age. More the part.
Don't you like this sort of more futuristic one at Disneyland where you can actually easily view out of the monorail car?
Yeah, because you've got more to look at Disneyland. You've got, like I say, you've got more of a view, whereas at the other part, most of it's just you're looking at fields and trees, aren't you, and car parks before you actually get to the park.
True.
And it goes around that fast anyway. You tend to miss it all. But yeah, I do like the monorails.
Another attraction that I think you liked, Finding Nemo Submarine Voyage.
Yeah, reminded me of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and I thought that was quite good, even though it was an old ride.
It was originally that also at Disneyland until it had the sort of refurbishment and themed around Finding Nemo. I think it's great. Can you imagine back in the day they used to have real life mermaids in the Mermaid Lagoon?
I've seen pictures of it, yes. Whether that was a long drawn out thing, I don't know. How long they lasted. It
wasn't for long, and I just think it was cool.
That would have been a nice touch, yes.
What do you actually think of the idea of being able to ride a submarine in a theme park?
I think it was a good idea. Why they got rid of it at Disney World, I don't know. But obviously, later on, things benefited from that. But I think they should have kept it. And I think the whole idea of a submarine riding is always going to appeal to somebody. So I think it'd been...
Well, it's exciting because as an adult, I'm 47 years of age and I've never been on a real-life proper submarine. So I had to have the opportunity to go on an adventure in a submarine. And this attraction for me, what makes it really excitable is the fact that you have got the ability for you to have a similar experience if you can't get into the submarine for whatever reason, whether it be disability or claustrophobia. They do have the seating room where you can actually view the actual view that you'd have if you was on the submarine.
Yeah, although I've been in a real submarine and yeah, You don't have a view.
Well, no, because they don't put windows in real submarines.
No, they don't.
Because they don't tend to have the story from Finding Nemo for you to look at.
Yeah. Incidentally, I couldn't find Nemo.
Oh, maybe we need to go again.
Maybe. Somebody pointed him out, but I didn't see him.
Yeah. I found Darla.
Who?
Darla. Fishy!
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Fishy!
Fishy in a bag with a big... yes, okay.
Okay, so we'll move on. Enough said about the submarine voyage. Apart from my top tip, do it early. Avoid the queues. We don't like queues, do we?
No.
So another attraction that I absolutely adore and have got such fond memories of riding this with friends is the Grizzly River Run over in DCA. But somebody didn't go on it.
No. Well, it's like December. It was cold and I didn't want to get wet and cold, so pass.
But it's fun.
Maybe next time. If it's a bit warmer, I might.
Disney have thought about this, Tom, and they've done something especially for you for when you visit. Remember when we went to Universal all those years ago and they had these big sort of like warming houses? You go in, pay your money, and they blast hot air at you.
And everything else, yes.
They've put them in at DCA.
All right, excellent. How to spread germs.
It's one just great big germ spreader then.
It is really. And getting a cold while you're in foreign countries, no, it doesn't work.
Oh, well. Well, you tell me about something else that you really adore over in Disneyland.
Had to be the Haunted Mansion, because that was the most heavily themed ride with the Christmas makeover in the park, even though it was a bit spooky. And
did you enjoy this version more than Walt Disney World?
For me, I would say yes, because I know in Disney World they don't put as much Christmas spin on it. I think what they've done at Disneyland, definitely yes. It's if you had to pick your first ride, that would be the one, because it does get busy.
It does get incredibly busy, but they do offer Fast Pass.
Yes, although Fast Passes over there aren't particularly brilliant, from what I remember. The Fast Pass machines at Haunted Mansion, only one of them was working, if you remember.
Oh gosh, yeah, we kept on breaking and we kept getting all of those tickets printed out, didn't we?
20 tickets in one go, yeah.
Yeah.
All blank, obviously.
But there is also Max Pass, but for us from the UK that didn't have American data, it really was challenging for us because we couldn't find the Wi-Fi to get onto Max Pass.
The Wi-Fi's not brilliant in the park.
So we really struggled accessing that system.
Yeah.
Never mind. Whilst we're talking of, again, attractions that we perhaps have differing viewpoints on, I'm not a Guardians of the Galaxy film fan. Everyone who listens to the show knows I am not a Marvel bunny. But I love the Tower of Terror. So when I heard that they were going to make it over into a mission breakout at Disneyland, I was particularly disturbed and really, really upset. However, when I managed to ride it for the first time, I loved it. And even not knowing the story and the film, I thought it was a really good makeover. And particularly they'd chosen some of my absolute favourite songs to have on the drop sequence as well. What's your opinion, Thomas?
Well, we're divided on this one because although it's a fun ride, it's I think this is one of Disney's mistakes.
Oh.
I don't... for me, the story from beginning to end, it just doesn't seem to flow as good as Tower of Terror did. The Twilight Zone story was far better.
All right, I'm going to stop now because you are the reason why on my first trip to Walt Disney World, I didn't ride Tower of Terror.
Yeah, I think it was actually my first ride. We did Tower of Terror and there was an issue with the ride and it was a lot more jerkier and seemed faster 10 years ago. And yeah, I hurt my back.
So when we went as a family, oh, don't go on that, it's awful. So none of us went on it.
Yeah, unbeknownst to me though, they toned it down slightly.
Yeah.
Changed the sequence so it wasn't as the drops weren't as fast.
Yeah. So eventually I plucked up courage and went on it, loved it, and hit you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you made me miss out on that. None of the kids got to ride it at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You made them miss that. Although Emily and Ciaran have subsequently ridden it at Paris and Ciaran also at Disneyland, so yay.
Yay.
And I don't think Bryony, my daughter, is not a big Disney fan.
No.
But the other two are fairly Disney-ish.
Ciaran more than the rest.
Well, yeah, true. Anyway, we're digressing off our Disney-ness here. So we're just talking through some of the attractions that we absolutely adore there. Any others on the list that I've got in front of you that are different over there you'd like to talk about?
Mater's Junkyard.
Over in Carsland.
Yeah.
Did you like that?
That was a good land.
Especially at Christmas.
Yeah, Maters were fun. Well, yeah, Christmas, yeah, obviously.
But the Christmas theme in there, every single bit had their own unique Christmas tree.
Yes, they did. Yeah, I remember now, yes.
Mater's Junkyard Jamboree. Why did you like it so much?
It was funny. It was one of the funniest rides I've ever been on.
I don't think that it was actually designed with adults in mind, but it's great. And what we'll find out this year when we go to Walt Disney World is that the alien swirling spinner thing that's over there is a similar sort of attraction, but it's just nowhere near as much fun as Mater's Junkyard Jamboree, because for some reason that whipping action where you're flung into each other and the music and the cue and everything just works so much better.
Yes, brings the child out of you.
It does. The inner Tomster.
Yeah.
And then we were able to go to the Cozy Cone and get something to munch.
Yes.
You like that?
That was good.
And we also went to Flo's V8, and that was another big hit for you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the hunt for a decent burger sometimes can be difficult in a Disney park. So, and you have your favourite places to go, and I think Flo's is the place to go for a burger.
And also for me, for my breakfast, the French toast brioche.
Yeah, that looked nice.
And we just loved it, going to the little patio around the back. The sun was coming up, and you're looking out over to Radiator Springs Racers.
Yeah.
And I know you've told me that is probably one of your favourite attractions.
Yes.
Why?
Because it just is. So it's got the dark theme element to it. It's a thrill ride.
True.
You're racing around in cars, so you're competing with another car, which is just got to be a good laugh, isn't it? Really.
True.
Yeah, and the scenery, because you're out in the desert at some point.
It is beautiful. And it actually feels like you're going a similar speed to Test Track at times, but you're going nowhere near that fast.
No, you do, because you're on a camber on Test Track, you do actually feel you're going faster, but it is a fast ride.
Surprisingly, you don't go over 40 miles per hour on it.
Confirmed?
Confirmed.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Wikipedia official.
Okay.
Whereas Test Track, you're hitting up to 70.
It varies from day to day.
Well, if you get the perfect storm of a warm day where the track is nice and lubricated,
No headwind,
and a light vehicle with not a lot of larger people, you can hit set nearly 69.
Yeah, cool.
Another attraction that I love in that part of the park, and you love as well, is Luigi's Rollicking Roadsters.
Yeah, I love it because of the technical aspect of the ride, because it's not what you'd expect it to be. There's quite a lot of technology in that ride. It's very clever, even though by the time you get off it, you feel like you've been jerked around a bit. But the thing is, you don't have to know how to dance to do that one.
Well,
it's
true.
all done for you.
True. But it's great to watch and to be part of it and to see what's going on, and I love it. And that whole land for me is the absolute bee's knees. I love it at Christmas, and I could spend a day in there.
Yeah.
Any other attractions that you really like over in Disneyland?
I was going to say the most unusual one was Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. I used to be a Toad's fan when I was a kid. And to have actually gone on a ride after all them years.
Did you go on the Walt Disney World version when it was there?
No, it shut.
Wow.
So I never got to do it. But I can. It would have been my one of my number one oldie worldy dark rides.
And that's obviously a replica of your first car.
Almost. My first car was a Maestro.
A bit different
that
then.
Talked.
A Maestro that talked. Yeah. You were a fan of Knight Rider, I can tell.
Yes, I was, yes.
Another attraction that I love over there is Monsters, Inc. Mikey and Sully to the rescue. But you don't really remember this attraction, so I can't remember if we actually went on it.
I don't think we did.
I think it was closed.
Blocked it from memory.
It was a fun dark ride, and it was a more modern take, because you didn't like Alice in Wonderland because it was oldie worldy, but this was a modern take of a dark ride, a retelling of a story.
Okay. Maybe next time then.
Absolutely. This is going to happen, guys. We're going to get there at Christmas. This is an attraction you didn't go on because you just looked at it and said no.
Pixar Pal, was it?
Yeah, the Pal around. It used to be named Mickey's Fun Wheel, or as many fans call it, Mickey's Wheel of Death.
The Ferris Wheel of Death, yes.
And we didn't go on it together, did we?
No, I looked at it and Yeah, thought about it and thought, no.
Oh, let's go on it when we go back.
Holiday insurance doesn't cover me for that kind of thing.
No, let's go on it.
Well, if we do, we'll go on the static cars.
No, we've got to do it full throttle.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Will ya?
I'll give it a go.
I've got listeners proving that you'll do it.
Yeah, okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I must admit, the first time I went on it was with Ciaran, and he loved making it swing more than it should as I was going greener and greener and greener. I have a massive, massive fear of heights. And I was like, I can't look, I'm keeping my eyes shut. And he was there, come on, Mum, let's go faster and faster, and swinging it back. Yeah, I really wanted to kill him.
Yeah, extreme rides isn't one of my must-dos, I'm afraid, even though I've done extreme things.
True, you're the only person I know that's been hit by lightning.
Climbing a mountain, soloist, yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We'll share that story another day, I think. What else do I love over in Disneyland with regards to the attractions? For me, it's Snow White's Scary Adventure, and I made you go on that so many times.
Yeah, it's an old one.
But it's a goodie.
It's a classic.
But you get fed up of me trying to get a perfect picture of Snow White as
Which
we
you
go
never
in.
will.
No, I know. I always would love, my ideal way of going on Snow White would be to have the attraction break down and to be walked off in the light, and it's never happened yet. Could you arrange it for my birthday?
No.
Oh, but if I say I love you, would you?
There's too much health and safety involved. Lawsuits and all that.
You're no fun. What about another attraction from you?
Soaring.
Oh, tell me about Ciaran. I love Ciaran. I think it's ace.
I used to like Soaring until they changed the film.
What's up with the new film? I think it's great. You get to go to new places.
There's dodgy CG in it.
You see, I'm of the sort that doesn't realise it is CG, so I just get immersed into it all and I love it.
I think the old film scenes were better. They were more realistic.
But I like the fact that I get to go to places I've never been, like the Taj Mahal.
Yes, that's you got new places to visit.
And you will never visit India with me, will you?
Not until the site of the toilets. Yeah. I'm not the one for squatting. Sorry.
Let's move on. Anything else over in Disneyland that you absolutely adore?
Space Mountain.
You'd ride Space Mountain all day, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Weirdly, it reminds me of Space 1999, which you've never watched when you were a child.
No.
So, as a dark ride and a extreme ride, love it.
It is awesome.
Yes.
Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer the Disneyland version where you're riding side by side, or the Walt Disney version where you're riding one in front of the other?
I think the Disney World one gives you more of a thrill because you're not exactly pinned in to your seat. You're literally hanging on, and it feels a lot faster. Whereas Disneyland, it's a better car, so you enjoy it more. You're not jerked around like you are on the other one.
Yeah.
So, but they're both great rides.
I love Disneyland's. I think it's just the most amazing thing ever. Let's have a look. What about another ride that's unique to Disneyland?
Roger Rabbit.
Ooh. Well, we did have a bit of a fallout the day we went on this attraction, didn't we?
I don't know.
Yes, we did. Stop trying to hide it. You were adamant we were not going to get a fast pass.
Yeah. We didn't get a fast pass from what I can remember.
No, we didn't get a fast pass, Tom, because you said, oh, look, it's a 20-minute queue.
Disney signs don't lie.
Disney signs did lie, Tom. How long were we stuck in that attraction queue?
I would say 60 plus minutes.
It was the 60 plus minute of my life I'm never going to get back.
It was a long queue.
It was a long queue. Next time, what will you do?
Not go on it.
Oh, well, I was going to say get a fast pass.
No, I don't think it was worth queuing 60 minutes for. Well, you got to see all the queue line theming.
Which was good.
Which was good. I didn't enjoy the ride. I didn't get it.
People love it, people don't love it. That's the good thing about Disney. You've got a little bit for everybody that different people like.
I suppose it's like, it's a small world. Some people say, why would you put yourself through that kind of torture and then have to see a shrink at the end of it?
For me, I want to end my little chat about Disneyland attractions with something I absolutely adore. It's a bit of a zippity-doo-dah moment. Splash Mountain.
Yeah, I like it. It's not my favourite.
I prefer the Walt Disney World version.
But then I'm not a fan of getting wet
on rides. No, true.
And yeah, it is one of them that you can get yourself injured on quite easily.
Is this to do with what happened to you over at Universal Studios?
Yes, it nearly happened to me in Disney World on the sim ride. So.
Oh dear. Let's not share that now. I don't think our listeners want to listen about blood and guts. No. We'll save that for another time. Food at Disneyland. Come on, we must be in agreement. The food at Disneyland is far superior.
It's better than Disney World, granted.
And I did manage to take you to some of the most iconic places to have some most delicious food. One of the highlights was possibly where?
Steakhouse 55.
We had a great morning there.
With the breakfast.
Oh, we had Terry Harden join us. Tommy, Lena, friend Wendy, all joined us for breakfast. We had such a great morning.
Yes, we did.
Where else can you get steak and eggs served to you in such a beautiful restaurant? There's your white linen, there's your silverware, there's the images on the wall, there's waitress service, and it's not ridiculously priced either.
I didn't pay, so I don't know.
I paid. It wasn't that bad.
Paid, yes.
It was really nice.
Yes, it's posh. Posh breakfast.
Posh breakfast, something that's a big tick on Tom's list. Going down to the other end of the spectrum, and I know you enjoyed eating here, was Plaza Inn, where you had that amazing fried chicken meal.
Yeah, that was value for money, for sure.
Lots of food.
Lots of food, decent sized chicken, which is rare.
And the interior was beautiful.
Yes, it's a nice venue.
But I think Tom's favourite place was where he got his favourite burger from.
Hungry Bear Restaurant.
Because you're my hungry bear.
Yes. Tummy Monster needed feeding that day.
Tommy Monster got really well fed there because you were able to partake in 1 or 2 funnel cakes, which is your favourite Disney food.
It's a big block of ice cream, yeah.
Oh, makes Tom smile.
Yes.
For me, I'm more of the sort of going to Cathay Circle and getting a serving of the biscuits. I don't think we actually did Cathay together though, did we?
No.
No, we did. We did, because I got the kids' meal, I got the steak, and you got something else, and you thought it was quite pricey.
Don't think it was worth buying whatever I had.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember it.
No, it wasn't that memorable, was it?
No,
but I love going there. But I just buy the kids' steak at $15, so it's not that expensive for me. Another place we ate a lot, and it was just one of those places we'd drive by and sort of pick up a coffee and pick up a snack. Matterhorn macaroon, Mickey macaron, coffee, gingerbread cookies, sugar crystal bickies, all of those lovely things at Jolly Holiday. We loved it there.
Yeah, nice little treats.
Loved it.
Yeah, the macarons were very nice.
Oh, such good food. Such good food. My finger is on the mouse. It's hovering. Am I booking?
Yes, book it.
Are we going to Disneyland for Christmas?
Yes.
Are we sure?
Yes.
Should we go to Hong Kong instead? Oh,
No.
Is that another podcast?
It's another podcast. We'll talk about that later.
Oh dear, he's got his stern face on. I hope you've enjoyed chatting along about Disney. Now you know what all this podcasting malarkey I do is. I want to persuade you, me and you, let's go and do a little mini-series about planning our trip to Walt Disney World together, because we're going on an awesome trip this July. Going back to the magic you've not been for a couple of years. Let's do a special series. And we can share some of those wonderful stories about how you managed to break your nose in Universal, how you nearly broke your nose on Splash Mountain, how you got struck by lightning. All of these amazing stories that we can share with people. Go on, do it for me, because you love me.
Okay, you've twisted me on.
Yay! And we can possibly hit on the topic that, well, we may be planning a special day in Disney World this coming year.
Are we keeping that a secret?
We are keeping it a secret.
Well, then we'll keep it a secret until after the event.
We will, but we'll tell you a little bit of hints about what's going to be happening on our trip in July. That's going to be available exclusively for our Patreon supporters. So if you want to join us and find out more about planning our way to Walt Disney World, you can go to patreon.com/Disney Dreamgirls. And there, each month we're going to be releasing a special show about our trip that's coming up this July. In the meantime, I think it's about time to put the old wrap on this show. So it's a goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.